project an image of unshakable calm and usually succeeds.
There are some 6,500 British fans here. I find that extraordinary, amazing. 6,500 people flew over 5,000 miles to see this man fight and try to win all the heavyweight titles for the first time in this century for a Brit.
And this despite the fact that through much of his career he was at best the second most beloved heavyweight in Great Britain, overshadowed by the far less competent Frank Bruno. But there is the record for Lewis, 34 wins, the draw in New York, the one loss to Oliver McCall, later avenged. Twice he has won heavyweight titles.
You're looking at one of the greatest fighters this country has ever produced. Great, great warrior. I doubt there's been another heavyweight who has been in as many hard, tough, killer fights, absorbed as much punishment, and kept coming back for more.
And the music with which Evander enters the ring is recorded under the label of his own record company, Real Deal Records. Smile creases the face of Holyfield. Nothing yet quite like the rapture with which we've seen him enter the ring for some of his big occasions.
The question, of course, reverts to an old saying in boxing that a great fighter, great champion, always has one more great fight in him. Has Evander Holyfield already had that and other one more great fights?
Evander Holyfield's extraordinary boxing record, 36 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 25 KOs, 2 of the losses to Riddick Bowe, 1 to Michael Moorer, and of course the draw last March 13. Now let's go to ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. to step it up one more level.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, for the featured bout of the evening as we join together to witness the last mega fight of the 20th century. And it's all brought to you by Don King Productions in association with Panics of the U.S. Main Events, Caesar's Palace, the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, TVKO, and Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association, President Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor Jimmy Binns, the World Boxing Council, President Jose Sulaiman, Supervisor Edmund Lipinski, the International Boxing Federation, President Robert Lee Sr., Supervisor Walter Stone, and the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. Elias Ghanem, commissioners Amy Ayub, Glenn Carano, Lorenzo Fertitta, Dr. Luther Mack with the executive director, Mark Ratner. Introducing to you our physicians at ringside, we have doctors Flip Omansky, Margaret Goodman, Al Cabana, and James Game. Introducing our timekeepers and also keeping count of the knockdowns, we have Al Bisick and Jane Broadfoot. Introducing to you our judges, all three from Las Vegas, Nevada, Chuck Jompa, Bill Graham, and Jerry Roth. Introducing the third man of the ring, working in this, his 60th world title bout, Mitch Halpern. All right, fans, here we go with the rematch we've all been waiting for. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Las Vegas, it's time for the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Introducing to you first the title holder on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing purple trunks with white and red trim, representing his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. He weighed in at 217 pounds, and with a record of 36 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw, he has 25 wins coming by way of knockout. here is the former undisputed cruiserweight world champion, the former undisputed heavyweight world champion, and the current WBA and IBF heavyweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome boxing's proud warrior, introducing Evander, the real deal Holyfield. And his opponent across the ring, the other title holder on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks with red trim, the big man from London, England. He weighed in at 242 pounds. The 1988 Olympic gold medalist has a professional record of 34 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 27 big knockouts to his credit. Tonight, attempting to become the first British heavyweight in 100 years to capture the undisputed title, here is the hard-hitting and current WBC heavyweight champion of the world, introducing Lennox Lewis. Once again, Mitch Halpern is our referee in charge.
All right, gentlemen, this will be clean. Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Any questions? Touch gloves. Good luck. Let's go. Touch gloves. Where's your mouthpiece?
Are we about to see the sad death of a great king, or yet another of his resurrections?
It was a late arriving crowd, but the rafters are now packed. 19,000 plus in the Thomas and Mack Center. An audience around the world hoping and praying, as they did back in March, for a conclusive definition of the identity of the heavyweight champ. As they clear Lewis's corner and the British fans begin already to chant soccer style, it seems to be a crowd almost evenly distributed in its passion. Just about half for Lewis and half for Holyfield. We should have drama tonight.
Already you can see Holyfield trying to get closer to Lewis right from the get-go.
Now he's beat him to the jab. Holyfield said he would try to establish the left jab. He did.
And Lewis fires a rare left hook. Lewis beginning already to paw a little bit with the jab, trying to establish the range between himself and Holyfield.
Now, if Evander want to really land that left jab, he's got to make contact with it. With Lewis's left foot, and then as soon as he made contact, jabbed in. If he's not made contact, don't try it.
Where is the ideal range for Evander, George? Is it right up in Lennox's chest, or is it a medium zone?
You got to be a medium. You're right there. Touch his foot, and don't go any closer because you don't want him backing away. Just stay that distance. Lennox got to make sure he keeps him on the outside. Evander is bobbing, but he's not weaving. He's going to one side, and he stays there.
Holyfield misses with a left hook. Lewis counters over the top with the right hand. Evander trying to project more sheer energy than was the case in New York. And whacking away at Lewis on the inside.
That's ahead.
Something he didn't get many chances to do in Madison Square Garden.
Now for Evander, all of these close-range contacts he's making is better for him. You don't want to keep this fight at long reach.
Evander pounds to the body as Lewis is backed up into a corner already. Halpern has had to work a lot harder in round 1 here than he did in 12 rounds at Trinidad de la Hoya.
Certainly Holyfield is working harder in this first round than he did in the last one.
You know, he was able to get in one good left jab, and that gives him confidence. You can't start reaching at this point. You got to let the fight come to you if you Evander Holyfield.
And Holyfield reached with the right hand, and Lewis touched him up inside with a little right uppercut as the result. But already, Don Turner is yelling at Evander from his corner. He doesn't want to fight. Yelling at Evander to try to let him know that he thinks Lewis is timid and that Evander can take command.
Evander did something very smart. He jabbed Lennox Lewis right in the chest. Right in the chest.
And a double jab there by Holyfield. Off the round 1 results, you get the impression it's a better Holyfield already than was the case in New York.
Lennox Lewis has got to keep his reluctancy that he had in the original bout. He wasn't overconfident. He just used his jab. Let the right hand flow.
Lewis trying to drop the right hand in on top of the left jab.
Go home. Break, step back easy.
Holyfield partially blocking it with the left glove.
The more minutes that Evander Holyfield stay close to Lennox Lewis, the better.
He's leaning back. Don't go straight in. Always on that. Give him a little spank first.
Going to the water?
Because he's wide open for underneath shots. He's steadily trying to chop over top, touch him, and starts trying to rip him underneath, and you're tying him up perfect. Okay.
Man, get that jab going. Get the jab.
His head is coming.
Well, everybody, the whole crowd is into his head tonight. So when you got the whole crowd is into it. You got the mouthpiece?
I got mouthpiece. Get that jab going, man. Get the jab going. Let him control it. Control it with the jab.
Holyfield with the CompuBox edge in jabs in the first round, landing 8 to Lewis's 3. Lennox wasn't really snapping the jab as he did early in the fight in New York. Now he sticks it out there with a little bit more authority to start round number 2. But Holyfield comes back, and you see Holyfield listening to Don Turner's instruction. Throw the jab twice when you throw it. Double up.
Well, he wanted to throw the jab twice because if he misses, Lewis is not able to hit him with a jab. So you throw 2 to make the big man back up. If you miss him, he'll at least back up.
Hard punch by Lewis inside.
Let go, keep it clean.
The question is whether Holyfield trying to come in is on a suicide mission, or is he going to get to Lewis?
Evander's reaching out, pawing already. That's what he shouldn't be doing. He should be throwing uppercuts to Lennox Lewis' elbows, uppercuts to his chest.
And Lewis, who said he would be conscious of trying to be aggressive and take advantage of knockout opportunities, is trying to load the right hand. Probably not a good idea for him.
Well, he's like Larry said earlier. He threw a lot of good right hands in the first fight, but they were nothing that hit him square right, hit Evander square in the middle of the face. Always on the side of the head.
Step back. Step back, step back.
This fight, Lewis got to concentrate on going right down the middle with that right hand.
Uppercut by Lewis as Evander jumps in with the jab. Lewis double jab.
That's what you don't want at this part of the fight, is allowing Lewis to get confident with his left jab.
You, if you're Holyfield, you mean?
Yeah, if you're Holyfield, you don't want him to get confident with that left jab. He's dropping his left hand, make him do it lower by hitting him in the body a time or 2.
Turner asked Holyfield to throw the overhand right. Evander hasn't released it. Lewis has released his right hand aggressively 3 times in this round.
Evander throws the overhand right. He has to make contact with the left hand first.
Left hook to the body, one of Holyfield's better weapons over the years.
Step back easy, step back.
You know, Holyfield's brain trust wanted him to have twice the activity of the first fight. He hasn't shown that kind of energy yet.
Now, the Everlast gloves are not bad. When Holyfield puts his hand behind his ear, he still have a little extra padding. The Everlast glove suits him better. You're not going to see a good, clean knockout with them, but they really act as good padding for blocking shots.
In his great rematch performances in the past, Evander Holyfield was able to throw a lot of punches in situations where he could attack.
Now, Lewis got Holyfield's got Lewis dropping his hand, looking. Now, Holyfield has the advantage. He can throw his jab now.
But his punch count is dropping off again, George. He's just not releasing his hands and throwing as much as he needs to be the aggressor.
Yeah, he's dropping his hand. That means you can beat him to the punch because the big guy has to bring him up and throw.
That round looked much like the rounds in the first fight.
Speed and everything.
Don't hesitate, champ. Give me some Vaseline. Straight.
Here.
Don't get flat-footed.
Need more?
No. Give me some water.
Holyfield throwing many more punches than in the first 2 rounds, but still fewer than 30 punches per round.
Jabbing to the chest,
Not enough.
to the shoulder, takes his right hand away. He's trying to hit you with a right uppercut coming in.
Inside, watch Lewis come up with a nice uppercut. Later on, good body shots by Holyfield.
But overall CompuBox numbers in round 2, Holyfield 6 out of 24, Lewis 13 out of 47, including 9 of 30 jabs. Those numbers, as you said, Larry, very much like what we saw throughout the fight in New York.
I could be mistaken about this, but Holyfield in his corner looks weary somehow. I don't see any energy. His body language is not lively. That could change, you know, in 5 seconds. But that's the impression one gets from him.
And now, just as was the case in New York, Lennox Lewis able to stick the jab in Holyfield's face repeatedly and start to set up power shots. Uppercut landed again.
As said, Evander's advantage if Lewis continues to throw these uppercuts because he drops his knees. He bends his knees to throw his uppercut.
But he's got to get off, George. He's just not getting off.
As soon as he bends, Holyfield's got to jump in with a left hook. Let me tell you, he can buy something tonight. Doesn't matter if you hit him or not, just jump in with a left hook.
Lewis backs into a corner on his own and then ties Holyfield up momentarily. Halpern separates them. Lewis walks out of the corner. Lewis lands a little left hook.
And combination. Now, this is unusual for Lewis to be the better combination puncher.
Now, there's a triple jab from Holyfield, and he sticks with it. That's one thing you said before the fight, George. If he gets into punching range, he's got to stay there and try to do some work.
And don't allow this guy to get the distance again.
Right hand lands on a counter for Lewis.
One of the things that Holyfield observed after the first fight was that Lewis was punching, as he put it, at the target instead of through the target, meaning he wasn't loading up for big punches, and that doesn't give him time to reply as he would like.
Well, that's part of Lewis's basic cautiousness.
Now, Holyfield was able to get in some good body shots here and there. This fight goes into the 7th round. That can change things, too. He was able to jab Lennox Lewis in the chest. He didn't do that last time.
So you're suggesting that you like a lot of what Evander's doing so
I like
far,
a lot of what he's doing. He's invested in the body, even jab to the chest. I don't like him standing there getting those jabs, but when he's not in range, get all the way out of the range, which he should be doing.
When you fought Holyfield, did you feel like he had effective head movement against your jab, George?
Yeah, it's a long, long time ago.
Yeah, that's right. Much has changed in the 8 years since April 9, 1991.
And that's why I named all my boys George, so I wouldn't have to remember anything.
Hard right hand by Holyfield. Cleanest punch of the bout so far.
And Lewis is getting in the kind of fight that Holyfield can benefit by. Standing close, trying to hit him back for hitting you. Don't do that if you're Lewis.
Get back. Off the head. Watch off the head. Go.
Lewis is bending down.
And Holyfield landed the left hook.
Bending down.
Round 3 had some moments for Evander.
You got to just keep it back on your jab. You get lazy, don't let him get too close. Keep it back at the zone where you want to just relax. But you got to catch it with some shots from underneath here. Everything you're shooting is over top. Okay? You got to get some shots from underneath. Get him back on the jab and keep him out there, but come with something underneath too. Okay? You got to get some respect. You got to take it to him a little bit. Okay?
You got to keep your right hand up. In the middle of the round, Holyfield lands a long right hand, no power on it because Lewis was backing up. But later on in the round, he did land a cleaner punch. Raising punch there.
So there was some excitement in the third for Holyfield fans, but still, overall CompuBox numbers, Lewis threw more and landed more. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
I don't know, Jim. Evander Holyfield, I thought did enough to win the third round. He got inside, he wrapped him a couple of times real good. 2-1, 29-28, Lennox Lewis. Lennox looked real good with the jab. He was busier in the first 2. Evander, the good shots in round 3. So I gave the third round 2 rounds to 1, Lewis.
Don Turner asked his fighter to go inside in this round. That's Evander Holyfield. So Turner apparently liked some of what he saw in round number 3. Another big right hand for Holyfield as Lewis misses with a left.
And Lewis want to keep this fight at distance. You don't want to get it close. Lewis's corner told him to step up and take the fight to him. I wouldn't do that at this point. Keep this thing at range as long as you can.
Oh, it's a man sport, George. Let them go in and bust each other a little bit.
Yeah, but the bigger guy, he looks bigger, but he's not all that big inside. He's a tall guy. When you see a good jab like that, that means that he doesn't like mixing it up.
Now, you pointed out that Lennox was bending forward in the last round. Why would he do that?
It was the first round that Holyfield made contact of equal range with him in height. Lewis started to bend down looking for that uppercut. I guess you go into training and you start thinking, I could have knocked him out if I had done this. But forget about that. Go back to what you did.
When Riddick Bowe, a taller man, leaned forward and agreed to exchange with Holyfield, Holyfield got chances to look good. In New York, Lennox Lewis simply wouldn't do that.
Now, anytime Evander gets close, he has to dive in. That's why they clinch. He's jumping in because of the distance. He can't get it.
And Lewis goes back to popping the jab in Holyfield's face.
And he can do that for about 2 or 3 rounds. You need not try to mix it up.
Lewis holding his left hand below his waist, inviting Holyfield to jab. Holyfield leaving the opportunity alone for the moment. Right hand over the top by Lewis. And Holyfield pounds to the ribcage as Lewis holds his arm.
Now, I haven't seen Evander do anything in this round, and we're 2 minutes and 15 seconds into it.
Lewis hasn't done a whole lot. He sits there and waits for one punch at a time.
Well, he's landed maybe 15 or 17 jabs.
Jabs score. Evander lands a right. Lewis lands a little right in return.
Lewis gets lazy and Evander Holyfield gets closer.
And Evander again jabbing to the body, something he did not try to do in the first fight.
Oh, I'm telling you, and it's paying off great dividends. Ooh, that right hand on the side of the head hurt.
Kind of slid past Evander's ear, though.
Yep.
4 rounds in the books. A couple of them tough rounds to score.
I know it's not, but he decided that he knew something big near the end of the round and excites the crowd.
He's trying to steal it.
He's trying to steal around it. But what you got to do, you got to take some aggressive stuff at him with some big shots without going over the top.
Yeah.
We keep telling you, come in underneath on the shot first. Even a simple jab, left uppercut, right hand would work. But come from underneath, you're doing everything over top. If you would really focus on your right hand and sit down and shoot the right hand straight, you can catch him with right hands. But you're trying to shoot your right hands too high. Slow down, get the right hand down here, shoot it short and try to straighten, you tighten up, okay?
Should you get around that, let go with the right hand.
Stay in your rhythm now.
Close your eyes and listen. Stay close. When you get in close.
Don't go flat-footed now. Mouthpiece, don't go flat-footed.
Double jab, double jab, double jab.
Once again in round 4, Evander Holyfield only threw 30 punches. Lewis 49. But halfway through the between-round period, you saw the graphic that indicated Lewis has landed half as many jabs in the first 4 rounds here as he did in New York. So Holyfield, though not doing much more statistically than in New York, is much more in the fight here early on.
You know what? He's good left hook.
Solid left hook by Holyfield. And Holyfield grinning as Lewis lands a big right hand. Both fighters have landed a big power shot in this round. And Halpern telling Holyfield to watch his head as Lewis goes under and then over with the right hand and almost throws Holyfield over the top rope.
Come here. The bullshit in here stops now. This isn't a wrestling match, it's a boxing match. Just keep this clean. You understand me?
And there's a cut
Go in this corner. Big
along
cut.
the right side.
Of Lewis's eye. He's not even aware of it.
It doesn't look dangerous, but you never know.
More an abrasion than a cut, according to Flip Pomansky, the doctor. Lewis wasn't aware of it. The blood does start to trickle outside his right eye as he goes back to the uppercut and busts Holyfield again. Lewis thinks he's got Holyfield going with these right hands.
Get back easy. Hey, come on, let's go.
for their man.
Lewis better get his hands up. Holyfield is doing a good job. Whenever he's close, he throws something. When the fight is away, he doesn't do anything. When you're close, throw shots.
Lewis hasn't had his hands up for 8 years, George. He loves to fight this way, as do so many modern fighters.
And he's doing something he didn't do before. He's leaning forward a little bit, trying to get that uppercut.
Absolutely. He thinks he's got Holyfield going with his big right hand connects.
Holyfield is landing good left hooks.
Absolutely. 2 in this round. And the blood is flowing from Lewis's right eye. Outside the eye, as you can see, outside the orbital bone. Holyfield trying to make it a brawl. That would be to his advantage.
That's right. You want to keep it a brawl and make that big man keep. And the good thing about this, I didn't mention, Lewis has his cup a little lower. That's why Evander is able to go down and jab and hit him in the body a little better this time.
Good point, George. Big difference in the position of the protective cup. Lennox going to work with the uppercut again. Every time he does, he brings his head into buttable range for Holyfield.
Not only that, he gets himself in the range of getting hit himself.
Well, despite the blood, so far it's been a big round for Lewis.
Holyfield has got Lewis coming forward. That's what you want him to do. That's the only way you can bob and weave. You can't go forward bobbing and weaving.
But again, Evander goes 20, 30 seconds without throwing a punch, George. He's got to be more active.
Lewis goes to the body a little bit.
And Lewis looking to the body.
And then going up.
All you got to do is get a little bit closer. A little bit closer.
That right hand is shooting just the way you're shooting, not that high. Shoot it straight inside. Catch it with that short right hand, okay? The right hand is the key right now behind your left shot. The uppercut is good because it's getting his attention, but keep shooting the right hand. You shoot them right, but shoot them low. Don't shoot them high. Just what you're doing, banging out is keep setting them in there. Shoot them real straight, real short.
Cut is nothing.
It's a good round for you.
Lennox Lewis's cut man, Al Gavin out of New York, is as good as anybody in the sport. Larry?
Leaping left. Right in here is where Holyfield and Lewis clashed heads. Lewis came out with a trickle of blood.
Round 6 of a scheduled 12.
Now that cut isn't so bad, but it sure does chink the what you call it, the shield of confidence.
Well, it gives Lewis something to think about, right?
And you don't want to be doing that when you go back to the corner. You want to think about how I'm going to get him the next round, not how blood is flowing. Holyfield has got his jab going better this time.
Holyfield averaging exactly 30 punches per round through the first 5. That's the same level of inactivity that hurt him in New York.
Good left jabs by Evander Holyfield.
He is making his punches count more tonight.
Going to the body. Going to the chest again.
And knocking Lewis off balance and knocking him back.
Going to the chest again. You cannot be allowed to be hit in the chest as a heavyweight.
Why, George?
It's just like someone taking sticking a syringe and just sucking all of your energy from you. And so many young fighters don't even understand that, so they allow guys to do it.
And now Holyfield goes upstairs with the jab. Evander's off to a positive start in round 6, commanding the first minute of the round with his jab. And Lewis has dropped into a stretch of inactivity himself.
Looking for a knockout. He trained for a knockout. Now he doesn't have no idea how to get back and get this thing in control.
Right hand by Lewis. Holyfield getting the guard up.
Oh, my goodness.
Why did Lewis do that?
Frustrated.
And the Boo Birds come out in the crowd. They want to see more activity.
Lewis thought all he would have to do is come out here, and it was all his for the taking. He had no idea he would have to fight for this title. That's what it's gotten to be. It's gotten to
So
fight.
you think Lennox Lewis was that totally complacent coming into this fight?
Oh, no. Everybody told him, you won this fight. You should have knocked him out, and he forgot about it. He won it by good tactics. He had a good strategy going.
Well, So many times in Evander Holyfield's career, it's been easy to be misled into believing that it was
those jabs to the chest, one after another. And I'm telling you, a knockout could follow those kind of punches. All he has to do, Evander, now is get in one left hook to the chin. This could be over.
Lewis headhunting in this round, concentrating on long right hands to Holyfield's head. Evander working to Lewis's body and stepping up the activity level in this round.
I don't
Lewis
think
is waiting and he's complaining.
I don't think that Holyfield's offense is bothering Lewis. It's the fact that he's harder to hit than he was in the first fight.
Oh, his offense is bothering him greatly. He's hitting him in the body, in the chest, things he didn't do last time.
Do not get flat-footed. Beautiful work. Get in close. Keep your arm close. Close. That's why he got to reach around you to hold you. And when he reaches around you, let go with a combination. And roll out. Then you hit him with the left hook.
Holding on to too much shit. Let it go. And keep shooting the damn right hand straight. Those short right hands, I don't care if they miss, keep shooting them. Even if they go over the top of his head, it's wearing him down to tying him because you're so big. But you just cut off completely. It's the same way you lost some other one and get your ass in trouble on the damn scorecard because you're not fighting. It's not that he's doing nothing. He's doing better than you. You're waiting too damn much.
All right.
Let the shots go.
Right now.
And back with the jab, too.
Crazy moving and bump right or left and throw your foot.
Stay off the ropes.
Right now, Lewis says, let's see if it's right now.
Round 7 of the scheduled 12.
Lewis played around and waited around too long, and he turned this thing into a fight. He didn't need to be in the fight.
And there's what Lennox Lewis was talking about, I guess, when he said right now, uppercut lands with thunder. Quickly, Harold Letterman, how you got it through 6?
4 rounds to 2. 58-56, Lennox Lewis. I gave Evander Holyfield a 6th round because he was busier. There's no question. Lennox didn't punch, but he's punching this round.
Come on, go.
Now Lennox fires the uppercut and throws Holyfield off and lands the uppercut again. He's just waiting on that uppercut now. Buster Douglas got himself knocked out against Evander Holyfield, trying to land an uppercut from distance.
All Evander is staying there in the pocket, weathering the storm, and anything that he can get in after the storm, he takes it. Lewis should be jabbing and making this a fight.
They both land uppercuts there. Holyfield with the right hand and Lewis with his own right hand.
Look,
big left hook by Holyfield.
They're head to head now, head to head.
Lewis is hurt. Now Lewis smiles as Holyfield comes in. Holyfield thinks he's got a target.
It was a left hook inside that hurt Lewis.
It was a big one. That left hook partially blocked by Lewis's right hand. Lennox leans against the ropes himself. Holyfield working the body. Lewis has decided that the uppercut is his bread and butter. Keeps coming back to it.
Lewis has no idea the effect of those jabs to the body and to the chest has taken on him. He has no idea.
Evander Holyfield with a better plan tonight. A little bit more energy. Not that big a difference, but enough to make it much more of a fight. And that's what
body shot hurt. That body shot hurt. Evander Holyfield landed a good body shot, and it hurt Lewis.
Hard left hook by Holyfield. Lewis stunned again. Lewis stands in. Holyfield fires back with the left hook. Holyfield, the quicker fighter, through the last minute and a half of round 7. Lewis almost casual with the uppercut. Big target there for Holyfield.
Emmanuel Stewart told him to go out and get at Holyfield, and this is the result. But here comes Lewis now.
Lewis rallying again. Combinations. Hard right hand by Holyfield. Lewis to the body. His own right hand lands flush. They trade shots at close range. Round 7, the best round. These two fighters have fought against each other in 2 fights. That's heavyweight excitement.
Everybody's head.
He's not going to say nothing about his head. You forget that.
Cover his punches and work on him inside.
Early in the round, that left hook apparently discombobulated Lewis for a few seconds. He's holding on here. Later in the round, once again, Lewis coming back in the last 20 seconds of the round. And you heard Emanuel Stewart still thinks that the best fight for Lewis is to engage Holyfield right in the middle of the ring.
CompuBox numbers in round 7 virtually even. Lewis 20 of 39, Holyfield 21 out of 45. Letterman, as you saw, gave the round to Holyfield, probably because of the big left hook shots. Right hand lands for Lewis. Holyfield much more engaged, looking much more confident than at any point in New York. Lewis obviously much more conscious of wanting to knock his man out tonight, and therefore creating opportunities for Evander.
Lewis is looking strictly for a knockout. Evander Holyfield now, all he has to do is play off of that counter punch.
Whoa. Come on, step back.
Pull it on home.
Let's go.
Every landed punch but one in round 7 was a power shot.
There's that left jab to the body by Holyfield again. Left hook upstairs now.
Another left hook, and Lewis backs up and ducks. Fires a right hand back and goes to the body. Finally, Lewis begins to exercise the wisdom in trying to get to Holyfield's body and take some of the sap out of those punches.
Lewis is totally leaning forward now. He is into trouble. If only Holyfield could just muster up a little energy to throw a couple hooks.
This is the Lennox Lewis who fought Ray Mercer in Madison Square Garden. Tactically wrong, engaging in warfare, and trying to rise to the occasion against a fighter who likes to fight this way.
He has made up his mind, Lewis has, that he's going to fight.
Lewis getting smarter and going to the body.
You've got to land some punches to the body.
Where's the jab with which Lewis dominated the first fight? George did. Evander take it away with those jabs to the chest?
Yes, he did. Certainly did. Sucked the juice all out of that left jab. Now he's got a fighter the same size as him.
And it looks from time to time that Lewis is a tired fighter. When he went 10 rounds fighting this style against Mercer in Madison Square Garden, he was totally exhausted at the end.
Yep, and it was because of those body punches. And the bringing of that cup. That protective cup has been lowered. Holyfield got a green light to get down low.
So it's a much more even fight. But despite everything we're saying, Lewis has landed some shots in this round and may in fact be winning the round.
Let's go. Break. Step. I'm in here.
He's got his hands low. Holyfield couldn't miss if he just jumped in a Floyd Patterson left hook.
Which he did right there.
Jump in.
Their heads come together again, and Lewis produces some good infighting as he drives Evander back to the ropes. Evander trying to flurry at the end of the round. Lewis blunted him there.
I don't know if they're getting it right this time, but they're certainly getting it right turn.
On your feet.
Come on. Breathe deep. Come on. Jim, you gotta cool him off, man. Put it on his head. Put it on his head.
He's just weak. He's falling all over the place, but you're not pushing. Plenty of stiff jabs. You got to take it down the stretch. We can't fuck around with no more of these rounds, man. The fight is close. The fight is definitely close. Okay, you've got to take it to him. Push the jab. Push the jab hard. As like you said, push off on the right foot. Make sure you move his whole body with the jab. And then when you shoot that right hand, shoot it short. You can hit him with the right hand, but shoot it short. Just but start.
When you're outside, make sure you're far enough where it can't hit you. When you move inside, move in quick. Move in quick.
Slip jabs on your left shoulder. Time to work, Holding.
Lennox Lewis asked by Emanuel Stewart to resurrect his jab. Stewart, as a trainer, has never lost a heavyweight title fight. Lennox Lewis has never knocked an opponent out past the 8th round. Holyfield has, and he goes for one here.
Holyfield was able to get in a double jab here, double jab there, make the guy wait for it, and then come over top with a right hand. He was able to do it great. That's the old boxing style.
I like what Lewis is doing to Holyfield's body. He's equalizing the momentum somewhat with that body attack. Stewart asking Lewis to try to set up a right hand with the jab.
Lewis just seems to need too much room to get his jab going.
Let go, break, step back.
You should jab. Don't wait to get in distance.
Lennox goes back to the uppercut. Evander whacks to the body again.
Break, no punch. I'm in here. Good.
Holyfield's eyes are clear. Not so with Lewis.
Holyfield looks like the fresher fighter. Lennox is still throwing more punches.
Lewis better keep his head up.
When Lewis was exhausted and in trouble against Mercer in Madison Square Garden in a very similar fight.
Good left hook to the body by Evander Holyfield.
The Englishman showed courage and heart during the 10th round to win the fight. Holyfield stepping it up again with that double pumping jab inside.
When Lewis jabs, it's a different fight. But when he stands there and waits for a big punch, Evander takes over.
Left hook to the body by Lewis. You don't see that very often.
He's going to have to do a lot of that.
It's not usually a weapon in his arsenal.
Let go. Sit back. I'm in here.
Got to admit that Evander's been in with a lot of giants, and he's never backed down from a one.
Well, Evander Holyfield won't back down from anybody. Uppercut lands for Lewis. Holyfield misses the left hook. Lewis lands the uppercut again.
Holyfield might be hurt right here.
But will Lewis take advantage of it?
Multiple punches for Lewis. Holyfield not throwing back. Fires the right and drives Lewis into the ropes. Lennox goes back to the body and the uppercut. Thrashing Holyfield with power shots. Holyfield's going to try to flurry again to convince the judges he's won the round. It's a smart professional thing to do.
Holyfield is an excellent boxer. Knows what to do and when to do it.
Lewis got in a last shot, so Holyfield decided to fire a left hook after the bell.
Cool him down. Look ahead. Here we go.
Right. Baby.
You can't
rub his low back. Rub his back with eyes and eyes.
You can't pull straight back.
The jab this round here now. That was yours. You won that, but that uppercut over here is what pulled it out, really. But you should have jab this round. He's tired. Make him get.
Now let's see if we can catch that uppercut that hurt Holyfield right there. Lewis, big uppercut. Lewis trying to follow up.
If he'd had a left hook to follow with.
I have a question for you, George. When Lewis goes in and battles him, you say he should jab. When he doesn't battle him, you suggest he doesn't have the gumption or the courage to stand with him. Now, which is it? Because in the last few rounds, he stood right with Holyfield and gone. I mean, this is a common thing we hear about Lewis.
The one thing about Evander, when he protects himself, he puts his arm all the way behind his ear, so that's why he's able to get caught with uppercuts straight up the middle. He always put it behind his ear.
Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 9? 6-3 or 5-4?
No, 6-3, 87-84, Lennox Lewis. I give Evander Holyfield around 6 and 7. He is making it close, but I got to tell you something, Jim. Judges very often look at a fighter's physical appearance, especially in close rounds. Evander looks like he's fresh, and in certain rounds, Lennox looks like he's dying. And that's what fools the judges. There's no question Lennox will land more punches and lose rounds because that mouth is wide open.
It's an interesting point, Harold, because I observed before that Holyfield looked weary in the corner between rounds, and he does. But when he gets out here, he doesn't look weary, and that's where it counts.
Well, that's an exercise of will. 6-3 on Letterman's card. I'll bet you anything. There's at least one judge at ringside who has Holyfield ahead in the fight.
But I can tell you this, Larry, Lewis should not engage into these exchanges. It's no good. He doesn't need it. He has the reach. But Evander Holyfield, this benefits him. He should try to create as much of this as he can.
But he just landed another big right uppercut.
And then you say, George, that he doesn't have it inside when he does that.
No, he doesn't have it inside. That's why he shouldn't do it.
Straight right hand lands for Lewis. Evander not throwing right now. Lewis with 2 body shots. And Evander's left hook upstairs was blocked by Lewis, who looks tired, but still has the energy to fire the 2 body shots and block the left hand.
That's the good thing about training. Whenever Lewis moves to Evander's left, Evander can't get anything off. He just goes to the left, nothing.
Left hook lands for Lewis.
Oh, boy, that was some good clean left hook. I don't think it did a lot of damage, but it just landed. You know, earlier we've talked about the 4 pounds Lewis took off for this fight from the last fight, which indicates that he had trained hard. Well, he's going to need that kind of conditioning to get through these last
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
He's moving to Evander's left,
and that's where it will pay off. If indeed that was an indication of his best conditioning.
Evander Holyfield didn't throw many punches in this 10th round.
Get that damn jab to working, baby. You get your jab to working and try them little short, straight right hand. But at least you shoot the right hand and hook behind it. What you need to do in your best punch, whenever you make your little fade off, you let them miss the same thing you did and let do that the 11th round like you did the last time. You let them miss a lot, step it up, but push it through after that. Okay? Push the damn right hand through.
11 and 12. You're here.
You got 2 rounds, man. 2 rounds to get what means this much to you.
Combination punches on the inside, man.
You got to have faith in God that you can go at this 100% for 2 rounds, and you can do it. 100%. You're a workhorse. Let's go see it now. Don't take anything off. 3 minutes of work.
3 minutes of work. Let's go, buddy.
CompuBox numbers in round 10. Lewis landed 23 out of 44 punches. Holyfield 9 out of 34.
Does Holyfield have 6 intense minutes that his corner is asking him for?
He's got bounce in his feet at this point.
Yes, what a fighter this guy is.
Straight left for Holyfield. Lewis landed a right hand earlier.
I mean, he's 37 years old.
What a man he is.
37 years old and without a real big punch. You know, there have been older fighters that have done well because they had a big punch. But to work at the high energy level he needs to, because he's a small heavyweight, he's just a remarkable guy.
Holyfield busting Lewis to the body with the left hand and then trying to get upstairs. Holyfield showing much more energy here in the 11th than he showed in a seemingly weary round 10.
Ooh, good body shots by Lewis.
And a quick left hook inside by Lewis. Landed flush. Holyfield takes a punch so well.
When Lewis goes out and jab and steps around, he has this fight won. Whenever he takes his trainer's advice, getting in there, that's when things turn around.
All right, break, step back. Watch your head, watch your head. Step back, let go. Hey, break, step back, go.
Well, Lewis is just standing on the mound, pitching now.
Break,
and when Holyfield comes forward, Lewis leans forward and pops him with that uppercut.
Well, he's on the mound like a pitcher, and he just stands there and does whatever he wants.
Ooh, hard left hook by Holyfield.
Break.
You heard Emmanuel Stewart a couple of rounds ago telling Lennox Lewis, the fight is close. Don't mess around in there.
He stands on his mound, and those body shots hurt.
Right hand by Lewis. Holyfield misses his left.
Watch your hands. Break. Watch your hands.
Lewis is better try to put everything to rest and win this round.
Ooh. Combination by Lewis. Holyfield lands a big right hand in return.
Easy. Let go. Step back. Let go, Evander.
You can believe when Evander gets hit, he's going to hit you back.
Closer than New York.
Let go.
Much closer in terms of energy and and the kind of effort the two fighters are putting forth. But still, Lewis throws more and lands more in almost every round. Will the judges see it that way? Blood on the bridge of Lewis's nose.
Let him up, don't punch, don't punch, don't punch.
The cut outside Lewis's eye from the butt early in the fight has never begun bleeding again. 4 punches land for Lewis. Holyfield can't get one in. Lewis jabbing and bouncing now. His energy coming back.
Let go, let go.
Yeah, Holyfield is cut.
Yep, blood on the left cheek of Evander Holyfield. Might have come from one of those right uppercuts.
One more round. That's not bad at all. 1 round to go. Hardly need to do anything with it.
Come on, let's cool him off real good.
Put your head on.
Last round, Evander, last round.
You don't have to worry about holding nothing back. Let it go, okay? You got to fight, I believe, but I'm not sure. But you got to win this last round with it. You know what it did last time just to get a draw.
Got to win it.
Okay, but got to win.
Stay small and just, that's all you got to do. And don't let him off the hook when you get him in trouble. You can do it. You let him
Dig real deep this round. Hit them comments.
Let's get up. Come on, let's get up. Let's get up. Come on.
We get ready for the 12th round. 3 points. Lennox Lewis has never lost a decision. Evander Holyfield has never had a 12th round knockout. And if Lewis wins, he's the first unified British heavyweight champion since Bob Fitzsimmons in 1897. Harold Letterman with Lewis ahead by 5. I'll bet you anything, all 3 official judges have it closer than that. Just a guess.
This has been a close fight.
I'm not saying I disagree with Harold's card. Just that I'm betting it's closer than that on the official
got
card.
some thunder on those punches, I'm telling you. Lewis just doesn't seem to respect Evander Holyfield's power. He hits him hard, he just drops his hand and walks right to it.
What should the two fighters be doing in this round, George?
Evander's got to pull it out. He just can't sit there and box this round. He's got to fight. If ever you're going to fight, this is the fight of your life fight.
Lewis stuck the jab in Holyfield's mouth, then just missed with the right hand. Holyfield trying to put the pressure on. Uppercut lands for Evander. Lewis slightly staggered. Now he looks to land his right. Evander with a lot of energy here in the 12th. Lennox seeming to try to load one big shot. Now he goes back to the jab. Lewis throwing his punches sloppily here in the 12th round.
Hey, that was your head going up. You okay? Go.
Minute and a half to go. Uppercut lands for Lewis. Crowd trying to chant Holyfield into yet another of his dramatic career moments. Holy, 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 they chant. Lewis trying to measure him in for an uppercut.
Lewis has got to fight. Just can't think about winning a decision.
This round is on the table for the taking. Nobody has made a big definitive statement in the first 2 minutes.
Don't punch. Keep it up in there.
If the fight is on the table here, if anything, Holyfield's had the better of it with sheer energy.
Lewis' corner told him, don't hold anything back.
He might not have anything to hold back.
Yeah, you always got something you wish you had done in the hotel room.
2 body shots by Holyfield. He sticks in a little uppercut. Lewis, in trying to land the one big shot, hasn't thrown enough punches in the 12th.
Lewis is holding on.
Right hand lands for Lewis.
Hits and
he ties Holyfield up inside. Lewis may think that he's won the fight and needs only to survive. We're going to find out in 5 more seconds of fighting. They fought a lot better fight this time, and the fans appreciate it.
I had Lewis winning the fight. Much better fight. Holyfield fought better. I thought Lewis won it.
You, George?
It was a close fight. And when you're in a close fight like that, you just got to wait for the judges.
Well, we already know who Harold Letterman thinks has won the fight. We'll get a look at his final scorecard in a few moments. In round 12, Holyfield landed 13 out of 46. Lewis landed 14 out of 35. So Evander was throwing more punches, and in the first minute of the round, he landed that right-hand shot and that left hook. And then later on in the round, a Holyfield uppercut landed flush. So even though the punch stat numbers were fairly even, and here's Tim Hallmark, Holyfield's longtime physical trainer, praying in Holyfield's corner during the course of that 12th round.
You just hope the judges are not swayed by what happened in the previous fight. Just score this fight the way it was tonight and the way it is tonight, and forget about the past.
Do you have a winner in your head, George?
Yeah, it's a close fight this time. When a close fight, I'll go for either guy. But Holyfield did a lot better, and if he had not had the stigma of that last fight, I think there wouldn't be any questions that he could have pulled this off.
You think Holyfield might have won the fight, George?
If had not been for the original thing, you see.
A lot of people think that the way the first thing went would redound to Holyfield's advantage. Harold, how did you score it?
Well, Jim, after 7, it was a close fight, 4 rounds to 3. But 8, 9, 10, 11 belonged to Lennox Lewis. He landed the punches, he threw the shots, better, cleaner punches at 8, 9, 10, 11. Evander pulls out the 12, 8 rounds to 4, 116, 112, Lennox Lewis.
All right, let's find out who really won it from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Tonight, boxing crowns an undisputed heavyweight champion, as after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards with a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Jerry Roth, scores at 115 to 113. Judge Chuck Jompa scores at 116 to 112. Judge at ringside, Bill Graham, sees it 117 to 111. All three in favor of the winner and the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.
Lennox Lewis,
fireworks, confetti.
Have to be wondering why in the world would he be doing this fight in a second time anyway.
I think they got it right this time, George. I believe Lewis was the winner. I think that those scorecards, matching fairly closely the Harold Letterman scorecard, were faithful to the action in the fight. I think we can all be happy that we got legitimacy here tonight. And now let's go to Larry Merchant in the ring with the undisputed heavyweight champ.
All right, thank you, guys. Congratulations, Lennox. You had some anxious moments after this fight, understandably. What were you thinking about before they announced the decision?
Well, I was concerned because it went to the decision. I was really concerned because, you know, I realized that he wasn't doing any work in the beginning of the rounds, and he was trying to steal at the end of the round. So I didn't know what the judges were looking for. So I was trying to bide my time and score the points at the same time.
He hit you with more shots in this fight, some clean shots. In the middle of the fight, he seemed to daze you for a moment. Were you ever seriously hurt?
No, I wasn't hurt. I was just playing. I was playing because I wanted him to sap his energy a bit. And it worked for a couple because I realized he was breathing after that.
What did he do to make this a more difficult fight?
Well, you know, when I was jabbing him, he was just coming in with his head and trying to get in close with his head. So I was concerned about his head, at the same time backing up and trying to score my points.
So you were not able to control the fight with your jab as you did last time because he jabbed more, because he came inside more, and so you had to engage him in more exchanges in this fight?
Yeah, when I was exchanging with him, he was keeping his head low and he was coming in straight with his head straight. So it was hard for me to engage some shots at at sometimes I would just move him to the side and throw off a combination. I was trying to catch him with the jab as he was coming in.
As we're standing here, 6,500 British fans traveled 5,000 miles to witness this moment. What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking I've got to go on with all the belts, for real. With all these fans coming here to support me, I've got to pull it out. So I have to push myself and get in there and really, really dig down.
The first unified heavyweight champion from Britain in a century. What do you think this will do for your legacy as a fighter, for the respect you have tried to win over the last decade?
I think, I went through some trials and tribulations, and, enough people were trying to stop me. The Americans didn't want me to take it over the Atlantic to Britain, but I actually persevered and succeeded.
Will you come back to America to defend your title?
Yeah, because the money's big over here. I realize the casinos are paying big money, but, I might fight one fight over in Europe first and make everybody come over there.
What are you going to do to celebrate tonight?
I'm just going to chill out, really. I don't really overdo it. I know a lot of people are going to want to talk to me and see me, and I'm just going to relish the moment.
Thank you very much. We relish this fight.
Yes, big up IRFM, our crew. Big up. Yes.
Jim.
All right, Larry Merchant. Lennox Lewis celebrates victory in a fight that was statistically closer than its predecessor in New York. Total punches, Evander Holyfield only slightly better in both categories than in New York. Lewis not quite as good. Jabs, and Lewis's jab disappeared for much of the second half of the bout. Lewis considerably worse and Holyfield better here than in New York. But in power punches, this time the edge belonged to Lennox, who landed 34 more power punches than Evander, threw 5 more, connected at a higher percentage. At the end of the day, it was probably these numbers that prompted the judges to give him the fight. Now Larry Merchant stands by with Evander Holyfield.
Evander, in those moments waiting for the decision after what happened in March, what were your thoughts at that time? Did you think you had won the fight, or did you just not know how the decision was going to go?
Well, the fact is, first of all, I want to thank the Lord, and He's good, His mercy. Lord give victory, and man give decision, but we have to live with Him. But in the front of the decision stuff, I did all that I could. I wasn't judging the fight, and like I said, my words don't twist. When things fall into the hands of the judges, the judges make a decision to who they want to get.
What do you believe in your heart and your head about the decision?
Well, it's hard to say. The fact is that, I go in there and I don't observe the fight. I do all that I can while I'm there.
How did you make this a more competitive fight than the last one in the eyes of many of us?
Well, the fact is that, I was able to take away the jab. I didn't get hurt by the jab. And I was able to engage the jab and to be able to know that, McCona tell me all he's trying to do is make you make the first move where he can just pop shot you. And I was able to, count off his pop shots.
So did that mean that he had to come in and stand in exchange with you, which is what you wanted?
Well, he did, and
do you give him credit for that? Because you have said in the past, well, he might not be all that willing to exchange.
Well, the thing is that, Leonard, my whole thing, I'm always give the fighter that I fight credit. That man did all that he could. It's not like he had anything to do with the decision no more than the fight himself. And, he was able to come back when I hit him some shots. I felt that I heard him a few times. He was able to rattle it back. As I feel that the fight was more of a competitive fight than the last fight.
Did his uppercuts hurt you because he seemed to throw a lot of them inside?
Well, no, because he was hitting me on the glove a lot of time, but with all his force, he gonna rise me up anyway. I have to go with it, like that. And he got some good shots in, but I'm just a big thing in life is that you give your all.
All right. Given that, do you feel good for yourself, even though you've lost the titles, that you gave everything you had, and after having said that in the last fight you couldn't?
Well, the fact is that, in the last fight I gave all I had, what I had that day, and I gave what I had today. And the fact of the matter is, when it falls into the judge's hand, you have decisions.
Will you continue to fight?
Well, I don't know. Just like I said, I would have to go back. I have to go back and pray about it and see what I want to do.
Thank you. As always, Evander, class act, class fighter. You've been great.
Thank you.
To you, Jim.
So they promised better judging here, and we got it. A unanimous decision, and the irony of the evening is that Lewis wins the fight by getting 10 of the 12 judges' calls in rounds 8, 9, 10, and 11. The same 4 rounds he lost on all 3 scorecards in New York. Lennox Lewis, not as technically pure as in New York, against an Evander Holyfield who was not nearly as lethargic and seemingly out of it. But through 12 rounds again, Lewis threw and landed more punches, enough to seize, for now, control of the heavyweight division. That was videotaped 1 week ago tonight in Las Vegas. Now we bring you live back to the boardwalk in Atlantic City.